screaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are.
Hello! So I have a makeup look, I guess, for you guys today. I painted a big fat angry owl on my chest, and that's what I'm sketching out right now. And I'm also going to sketch out the tree that my big fat angry owl sits on. As always, guys, I always recommend looking at reference. I've drawn and painted this type of owl before, so I'm kind of just doing it in the stylistic way that I normally draw and paint them. I'm going into the background. I'm going to be laying down flat color. I'm doing, all the paints that I use are the Mayron Paradise paints, but the gradient that I'm going into for this background is yellow and then pink, and then the pink and the yellow will mix and make orange, lavender, and purple. And I'm bringing the purple all the way up to my neck. Each time I lay down color, I'm going in with the beauty blender, just tapping it out. It just helps the color lay down correctly, not correctly, more opaquely and smoothly and not patchy. And also that sponge helps the two colors blend together. Tree trunk. So I'm doing another gradient, and the gradient that I'm doing is black to dark brown to light brown to phthalo. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's basically just a very light brown. And as I'm laying down this color, I'm not really worrying about it being patchy and kind of uneven, because I feel like that gives it more of a wood texture if it's not just perfectly smooth gradient. I like my sky to look textured, so I'm using the NYX SFX cream paints to get a texture to my sky. I'm using pink, white, and purple. I'm concentrating a lot of the white and the pink towards the bottom, so where the yellow and the pink is, and then the purple and the pink and the white are going up as it gets darker. Now we're starting to paint the owl. So the owl is kind of a similar combination of colors that the tree is. I'm using a white kind of where the eyes and the beak are, and then I took that phthalo color and I'm going around the face, and I'm kind of covering a lot of the body with the phthalo color, and I'm going to build darker colors on top of it. Now that I have a kind of base of that phthalo color, I'm going in with the light brown, and I'm putting that in its, what are these things? Are these ears? I have no idea. But I'm putting it in the little tufts of feathers on where its ears would be. And I'm just kind of flicking out, giving it a feathery sort of rough texture. I'm also going around the body to give it more of a contour around there. And I'm just giving it more of a form right now. With the dark brown, I'm going around and adding a little bit more definition to these feathers. I'm also adding a bit of a wing texture to the owl, especially around where that wing is. I'm going in and adding more defined feathers in there with the dark brown. Going into my Naturally Pretty palette from IT Cosmetics, I am taking the shade Sunrise, and I'm starting to individually separate each one of these feathers on the chest. And I'm just basically doing a U shape. I'm doing this very roughly because I'm going to go back in with smaller brushes and darker colors and sort of define them a little bit more. But you can kind of be sort of haphazard with this. You can make some smaller, some bigger. If you mess up a little bit, it's not a big deal. I did. I also added a little bit more of a feather texture to right where the face is, where the beak and the eyes are. I'm making this more so look like fur than feather on the face, just because, I don't know, that's kind of what it looks like. That's normally what I do with like, and then I'm going around the eyes and making them look more defined and just giving them that outline. I'm doing that with Java from the Naturally Pretty palette, and then same thing, Java going around defining the feathers, adding more definition and shading to those. This is Noir from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I am, again, doing basically the same exact thing that I did with Java, basically in the same exact areas, but not all over. I'm adding more of a definition with Noir. So I'm adding like that shade on some of the wings and just like generally around the eye. And I'm also giving my own outline with that. Now for the beak. So I wanted to do the feathers before I did the beak and eyes, so that's why I waited on those. But yeah, so I'm just coloring in the beak right now with the gray paint, and then I'm also coloring in the eyes with the dark yellow paint. With Anastasia Beverly Hills Noir, I am just outlining my beak, and I'm also separating his beak, so I'm making it so he has an upper beak and a lower beak, and I gave him a little nostril hole because I'm pretty sure owls have those, not 100%, but pretty sure. This is Sugar Pills Butter Cupcake, so I just placed this on top of the yellow eyeballs. With Noir from Anastasia Beverly Hills, I am just fading in that black to the top part of the eye, and I also gave him a little pupil. And he's so cute, he's starting to look like a little man, but this is the Smashbox Always On Liquid Liner. I'm going around to the wings, and I'm giving them like a little bit more of like a spiky texture, and I'm also outlining them a little bit. I also outline the beak and the eyes with this. He's also getting a pupil with this liner, which is just basically like an oval shape. And then I went in with the black shadow and I went around the eyes, and I just kind of smoked out his little angry eyeballs some more. Going into Viseart's Editorial Brights palette, and I'm taking the orange shade and I'm just fading that into the yellow a little bit to give him more of like, you know, a gradient happening in his eyes. And then I took the Vivid Brights NYX Vivid Halo liquid liner, and I am just adding some highlights. We're starting the highlights, you guys. But yeah, so I'm adding this to his eyes, which is basically just like, it's like an outline, but not a full outline is what that highlight is. And then I added some of the Absolute New York liquid liner in yellow highlight to the pupils of his eyes to make them look a little bit more alive. And then I took Vivid Halo again, and I basically added a highlight to like every single one of the wings. With the NYX foundation mixer in Warmth, which actually isn't pictured there, I forgot to dip products out of it, but it's like a light brown shade, and I actually put one of these on each one of the wings to give another sort of duller highlight to each one of these wings. I normally would do that before I did the Vivid Halo highlight, but I got a little bit ahead of myself. And then I went in with the deep foundation mixer, and I added like a dark brown outline to each one of the wings. This is my Eye Magic like cream face palette thing that I got from Amazon. I went in with the yellow and I just did a dot of cream paint on the eyes, and then I took the dark brown shade and I started to further outline and kind of define those wings. And then I took the white cream paint and I added a little highlight onto the nose. I wanted his wings to have like a little bit of a pretty like metallic quality to them and just to further highlight them. So I took the NYX liquid liner in gold and I just tapped a little highlight on each one of those wings with that. With the NYX liquid liner in white, I added some highlights into his pupils, and I'm basically highlighting everything with this right now. So I'm highlighting his eyes, I'm highlighting his beak, I'm highlighting all of the feathers with this white liquid liner, just doing like taps of highlights on those. And yeah, I'm just highlighting all over the place. The very last thing we're going to do this out is I'm going to take my NYX foundation mixer in white, and I am just giving him like a highlight like on the middle of his beak basically. With Anastasia Beverly Hills Noir, I am starting to define the like tree trunk texture on my arm. So I'm doing this by creating like lines going down. These lines are wiggly, they're not like super defined. I'm doing them with like a very fluffy brush. They're organic because that's just kind of the type of lines that are on tree trunks. I'm just trying to mimic a tree trunk. And then I took Java and I started to shade in the twigs, like the smaller tree branches happening on my other shoulder, and I also defined the leaf. And then I took the Smashbox Always On liquid liner and I started to create some more defined sort of tree texture happening on my arm, and I'm doing this again with wiggly, not like straight lines, very organic. I'm also outlining my tree. Again, taking those foundation mixers, the highlights and like shading in the tree is very similar to the owl, but I'm taking the NYX foundation mixer in warmth and I'm just putting on some highlights on my tree with that, and then I'm taking white and I'm creating more extreme highlights on the branches. I wanted some metallic highlights, so I took the NYX Studio liquid liner in gold and I just did some more lines of highlights just all over my tree, and then I did the same exact thing with the NYX liquid liner in white. With Java from It Cosmetics again, I am just doing more shadows to those leaves to define them a little bit more. Doing like an outline, and then I did a line in the middle of the leaf, and then I wanted more of a highlight on it, so I took the yellow cream paint from the iMagic palette and I just did a line on the one side of the leaf, and then I took Vivid Halo from the NYX Vivid Brights, did the same thing. Put a line of yellow, and then I put a line of yellow in like the middle of the leaf where that line is, and same thing on my other leaf, and then I did the same exact thing that I just did with the NYX Vivid Bright and Yellow with the white liquid liner, but I did like just dots of highlights. I didn't want them to be as extreme as the yellow highlights. Now we're done, almost. So I'm taking the NYX SFX cream paint again, and we're doing clouds, because y'all know your girl loves clouds. So I just do clouds basically with my finger. I take the cream paint, I tap it in, and then I tap it onto my chest, and it just makes a really like nice fluffy texture for the clouds. And I'm just doing that all over the sky. To define these clouds a tiny bit more, I'm taking a round brush and I'm taking the iMagic paint in white, and I'm just dragging the brush down. This is going to create a round kind of brush stroke, and it's also going to create a highlight, and then it fades as it gets dragged down. And I'm basically doing this to wherever there is a cloud, I'm doing this kind of highlight. I'm also taking that peachy paint from the iMagic palette, and I'm doing the same thing I did with the white, but I'm doing like, it's more like a shadow sort of. I'm just dragging it down, and then I took the Absolute New York liquid liner in yellow, and I just did some little taps of like stars or whatever going on in the sky. And then I took the Vivid Petal liquid liner, did the same thing, taps, little dots. Blue Milk, same thing, just little dots. For some of the clouds, not all of them, I took my NYX white liquid liner, and I just did little taps of highlights on the very like peak of the clouds. Now for my favorite part, you guys, I am adding some chunky ass craft glitter to my sky. So it's funny, actually the craft glitter, I don't even need to use glue for it because this paint, the cream paint, is so chunky and nasty that it just sticks there. I'm creating like a moon cloud thing going on my face. So I'm just sketching out where the moon is going to be peeking out of the clouds, and then I'm going to paint my face purple. So I'm just basically painting it all purple except for the moon, which I'm going to be painting white. So I'm basically taking that cloud texture up into my face, and this felt disgusting, by the way. It felt so gross. I felt like one big pore. But anyway, I'm taking that pink NYX paint, the cream paint, and I'm just tapping it all over my face, and I'm also tapping the white cream paint all over my face as well. Again, same thing that I did on the chest. I'm just bringing it up onto the face. And then again, same thing that I did on the chest. I'm taking my finger, tapping it into white, and then tapping it all over my face. My face was looking a little bit like just one white fogginess, like it didn't look like clouds. So I had to go back in with the Viseart purple eyeshadow, and I just tapped that into some areas on my like sky face, and then I took the white from the Viseart palette and I tapped that onto the moon to set it. Also, I did this to set it because it just woo, it felt real heavy. To get a crater texture on the moon, I'm doing really just a similar thing that I did to the clouds, but I'm taking the purple SFX cream paint and I'm just tapping that down, and then I'm tapping the pink down right next to it, and then I'm tapping the white down. I wanted like a like gradient again, so it's like darker towards the left side and then lighter towards the right side where it gets closer to the clouds. I wanted my craters to be a little bit more intense, so I took the purple shadow and the pink shadow from the Viseart palette, and I just tapped with like a round kind of stiff brush some just, you know, taps of purple and pink, and then I took the Eye Magic palette, I took the white shade again, and I just cut that moon and made it more defined and more of a defined like highlight happening on the moon, and I started to define my clouds. So same thing, round brush, drug it down, created highlights on the clouds on the face. Like color and shading to my face scathing, I just tapped some of the Eye Magic cream paint onto the clouds, and then I took I took a Vivid Petal from NYX, and I just tapped some little dots onto the moon with that. I wanted them to look a little bit like bigger, so after I tapped the dots on, I took my finger and tapped them out. I'm doing the same exact thing to my face that I did to my chest, so I'm just taking that NYX white liquid liner and I'm just tapping some little highlights on each one of like the peaks of the clouds on the face, and I also did an outline on the moon to further like define it and give it just a more intense highlight there. Now for dots, because your girl likes dots. So I took Vivid Petal and I just added some dots all throughout my face. And then I took the Absolute New York liquid liner in yellow, tapped some more intense dots all throughout my face. This is Space Baby from Ofra. It's a Nuki Tutorials highlighter collab. I just wanted like more of a shimmeriness to my cloud sky thing, so I just tapped that all around my face, and then I took some of those chunky craft glitter sparkles and did the same exact thing. Again, I don't even need glue because my face is so gross. This is Pretty Violet. It's a NYX eyeliner. I just put that on my eyeball and also underneath my eyeball. And then I took the, what is this? Oh, it's Ultraviolet from Smashbox. I put that on my lips. With the Makeup Forever ink liner, I just created a simple cat eye on my eyeballs. This is the Notoriously Morbid Multichrome in Death. So I just tapped this on my lips, and then I also tapped it on top of the liquid liner. After tapping that on top of my liquid liner, I put on some lashes and I also threw in a wig. And that is the finished look, you guys, so I hope you guys like it. I love owls, I really do. And I'm probably going to be bombarding you guys with like creative tutorials this month. I'm sorry, but I didn't get to participate in Halloween list here with looks, so I'm just trying to do as many as I can this year. If you guys like this video, like this video, subscribe, it makes me happy, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Bye!